In the vibrant town of Igara, established in the center of the Yoruba land, there lived a woman known to people of the town as Bola. Igara was not a boring town. It was a place where the sounds of bustling markets mixed with the laughter of children playing in the streets, and the aroma of spices and newly cooked meals filled the air. The people of Igara were proud of their town because of its rich history, exciting festivals, and delicious food. In Igara, there were many spots to eat good food, but Iyabola's simple restaurant stood out like a gem. Her small restaurant wasn't fancy, it was just a simple restaurant with some cheap wooden tables and chairs. Still, it was always full of people who could not wait to try the food she made. There were a few handmade baskets, some dried herbs hanging by the window, and the picture of her late husband, Baba Bola, on the walls of the restaurant. The town's beating heart was Iyabola's simple restaurant, where people came to share stories, laugh, and enjoy a meal that felt like a warm hug. Iyabola's famous soup, vegetable soup, was what really made her restaurant famous. It was a rich, tasty veggie soup that seemed to have a life of its own. Some people would come from other places nearby or even from other parts of Igara just to try her food. People loved the soup because it had a rich, complex taste from the vegetables, tender meat, and different spices that danced on the tongue. It was a treat that made everyone feel better and warmth in their hearts. People who ate Iyabola's soup often asked her what was so great about it, though she used a rare spice or herbs that no one else knew about as a secret element. Some people thought the gods had given her a special talent for cooking. People who ate Iyabola's soup often asked her what was so great about it, though she used a rare spice or herbs that no one else knew about as a secret element. Some people thought the gods had given her a special talent for cooking, but no one could figure out, and Iyabola would not say what it was. When someone asked, she just smiled, and her eyes twinkled with a knowing look that made things even more mysterious. There was one strange rule at Iyabola's restaurant, though no one could go into her kitchen. She would say in a soft and firm voice, "Stay in the dining area and enjoy your meal. The kitchen is not for guests." This was an odd rule that made everyone in the town to follow without questioning. After all, they were there to eat, not to find out how she cooked. They did not want the rules because the food was so good. But there is a saying, curiosity makes one look inside a room, not outside. People were more interested in Iyabola's kitchen the more she insisted that it is a private area and out of bound to everyone. A young man named Kola was one of those interested in people. Kola moved to Igara not long ago from a nearby village. Kola was smart and full of energy. He was eager to learn and always had questions in his mind. He had heard a lot of good things about Iyabola's soup before he even went to Igara. It wasn't a surprise that her restaurant was one of the first places he went when he got to town. The moment Kola walked into Iyabola's restaurant for the first time, the rich aroma caught his attention right away. There was a strong aroma of vegetable soup that drew him on one of the wooden seats, where he quickly sat down. He took a taste of the soup as soon as it was put in front of him. The taste was even better than he thought it would be. The fresh vegetables, sweetness, the spices, heat, and the meat tenderness and taste all worked together in perfect harmony in his mouth. The first bite hooked Kola. The vegetable soup kept calling him back. Every time he went over there, he would look at the kitchen door and wonder what secrets were hidden behind it. Iyabola was always very careful when she was in the kitchen, making sure no one got too close. She often hid behind the door for a long period of time, When she came back, she brought pots and dishes full of food that looked almost magical. With each visit, Kola became more interested. He began to show up at the restaurant early in the morning so that he could see what was in the kitchen before it opened. But Iyabola was always one step ahead, and no one knew what was in her kitchen. It took Kola a few days to get stronger without breaking the rules too much. He knew he had to find a way to see what was going on in that kitchen. After another tasty meal at Iyabola's restaurant one night, Kola stayed behind. He saw Iyabola clean up the eating area by wiping down the tables and putting the benches in order for the next day. Kola sneaked out of the restaurant and hid behind a big pot that was stored right outside the kitchen door. When the cook finally went into the kitchen, it was quiet at night, and the only sound was crickets singing far away. Kola quietly waited, and his heart was racing with excitement. He knew this was the chance to find out how Iyabola made her soup so good. Through the hours, Kola could hear faint sounds coming from the kitchen. There was this sound of people and the clash and pans. Something was cooking on the stove. There were too few words for Kola to understand, even though he tried hard. The kitchen door finally opened a little. After what seemed like forever, Kola caught a flash of light spilling out into the night. He got down behind the pot and held his breath as he gazed around the corner. What Kola saw next shocked him. A little girl stood next to her in the kitchen. Her eyes were bright and curious. Her body was small and delicate. She could not have been more than 10 years old. The girl was helping Iyabola make soup. She chopped the veggies quickly and precisely, which made her look almost too skilled for her age. Kola was amazed to see the girl working with Iyabola. The girl's hands were moving quickly as she added things to the pot. They seemed to be in sync with each other, like they have done this a million times before. As she stirred the soup and tasted it while nodding her head, the girl's moves were graceful. Kola had a lot of questions in his head. Who is this girl? Why is Iyabola hiding her? Perhaps she is the reason why the soup tastes so good. After a while of watching, Kola saw something even stranger. It was like the soup could feel her touch when she added a pinch of salt or pepper. It would give off a light, sparkling light. She seems to have a magical power that brought out the best in every ingredient, making the flavors taste even better than usual. The shock hit Kola. This was something he had never seen before. Girl had incredible skills, and it was clear she was a big part of what made Iyabola's soup so special. But as Kola watched what was happening, he felt guilty. He knew it was wrong to watch without their permission and get information from them. Iyabola's secret was not just the recipe or the materials. It was about the love and care that she and her daughter put into their cooking and the magic they made together. Kola knew how to keep their secret safe. He sneaked out of where he was hiding and went back to his room with a sad heart. He knew the truth, but he also knew that some secrets should be kept. Not because they were bad, but because they were valuable. What Kola knew changed when he woke up the next morning. He understood that the magic in their soup was something that could not be explained or copied. It was a sign of how much they loved each other and how much care they put into every meal they made. Kola chose to go to Bola's restaurant, not to find answers, but to thank her for the lessons he had learned. His arrival found the restaurant full of people as usual. It was like Iyabola knew that something had changed in him because she smiled at him. As soon as Kola sat down at the table. Iyabola brought him a bowl of hot vegetable soup. He thanked her and took a spoonful, enjoying the comfortable taste of something he knew. But the soup didn't taste the same to him this time. Not only was it tasty, but it also him of all the love and the hard work that went into making it. Iyabola was busy serving other customers. Kola went up to her after finishing his food. He told Iyabola, "Thank you for the great meal. I have always been interested in your soup, but I have learned that some things are better left in secret." Iyabola smiled at him as she looked at him. "It is normal to be curious, my son," she said softly. "But you are right. Some secrets are meant to stay hidden. Certain things are truly unique when they are mysterious." Her word made Kola feel calm. The magic of Iyabola's soup was not just the food, it was also the love, care, and bond she had with her daughter. Kola had a newfound respect for custom, family, and the unspoken bonds that made life truly magical as he left the restaurant. Kola kept going back to Iyabola's restaurant every week, not just for the food, but also for the free feeling and love it gave him. He had become friendly with the people of Igara, and they now thought of him as one of them. Kola was sitting in the market one day and watching all the actions going on around him when the town's wise leader, Baba Ade, came up to him. Many people knew Baba Ade as a wise man who knew a lot about Yoruba customs and proverbs. People respected him, and they often went to him for advice when they were in trouble. "Kola," Baba Ade said in a deep, calm voice, "I have seen that you have been over at Iyabola's restaurant a lot. People say nice things about you, but I think you have something on your mind." Kola thought about what he had said for a moment, but did not know how to say it. But Baba Ade's soft eyes and calm attitude made him feel at ease, and he found himself telling the story of that night in the kitchen. He talked about how interested he was in the girl, how he found her, and how she seemed to have a magical link with the food. Baba Ade paid close attention and nodded carefully as Kola spoke. The old man took a big breath and smiled when Kola ended his story. "Young man," Baba Ade said, "what you saw is very valuable. A child who is not taught will bring shame to the family. Iyabola's daughter has been taught well, not only how to cook, but also how to live life. The way their food tastes is because of the bond between them. Not being a part of it makes it impossible for others to understand." Kola gave a deep nod, showing that he understood. He said in a low voice, "I see that now, Baba Ade. I understand that sharing or learning their soup cooking style is not possible. It shows how much they love and care for each other." Baba Ade smiled, and his eyes shone with knowledge. "You are very smart, Kola. We grow through belief, not blindly. It's a lesson you should keep in mind as you go through life. For example, the true value of a secret lies not in its disclosure, but in the respect we show for it." Kola thanked Baba Ade for his wise advice and felt very thankful as he left the market. Having such a unique understanding gave him joy, and he promised to remember what he had learned no matter where life took him to, not just in Igara. As the weeks turned into months, Kola kept living in Igara and fully enjoyed the town's culture and ways of life. He became more than just a customer at Iyabola's restaurant. He became a friend. People in Nigeria were happy to see him and made him feel right at home right away. Igara's king had said that there would be a big party to honor the town's rich customs and culture. As usual, there will be music, dancing, and the feast with the best foods from the town's best cooks. Someone asked Iyebola to make her famous vegetable soup for the event, and Kola was happy to help. A lot of people dressed up in their best wares on the day of the party. A breeze blew colorful fabrics around, and the air was filled with sounds of drums and music. People from all over Igara came together because the streets smelled like delicious foods. People lined up to try Iyabola's famous soup. Along with her, Kola fed the hungry crowd and enjoyed the party's happiness. Iyebola looked proud as she watched the people eat her food, and she knew this was a moment she would remember for a long time. As the sun was going down, the king of Igara and his group walked up to Iyabola's booth. The crowd was quiet as they waited for the king to taste the vegetable soup. He smiled at Iyebola and his eyes got bigger with happiness. "This really is a dish fit for a king." He spoke loudly. The crowd could hear him. "When it comes to cooking, Iyebola, you have made our town proud. Igara is lucky to have you." The crowd cheered and Iyabola's face light up with pride. She bowed to the king with respect, and her heart was full of thanks. Kola seemed happy as the scene played out. He was thankful for the chance to be a part of something so special and knew he had played a small role in making it happen. As the party went on late into the night, Kola thought about the paths that had led him to this place. As a stranger with a desire to find out a secret, he had come to Igara, but along the way, he learned something much more valuable: how important custom is, how powerful love and connections are, and how wise it is to honor the mysteries that make life truly magical. Kola became an important part of Igara's society. He never stopped growing, and he was always looking for ways to better understand Yoruba cultures and traditions. He was known for more than just being interested. People knew him to respect the elders' wisdom and keep the principles that made Igara unique. Iyabola's restaurant was still a great place to eat in town, and her vegetable soup kept bringing in people from all over. It became clear that Iyebola was getting older as time went on. Her hands, which were once strong, started to shake. Kola and Iyebola were having lunch one day when Iyebola looked at him with a serious face. In a soft voice, she told Kola, "I want to tell you something. You are like a son to me, and I know you will keep up the good things that people in this town cherish." Kola paid close attention because he knew what she was saying was important. He spoke with tears in his eyes and said, "Iyebola, you have taught me so much, but about life in general. It was an honor to be a part of your journey." Iyebola smiled, and tears were shining in her eyes. "One day, I won't be able to cook for the people of Igara anymore. But remember this: belief is what keeps a town going. The real magic of our food is not in the ingredients, but in the love, respect, and relationship we have with each other. If you remember these things, Igara will always live in your hearts." Kola agreed, and the words she spoke made his heart feel pain. He knew that Bola was getting him ready for the day when she would no longer be around. Besides the food she had cooked, he knew that her love and knowledge would live on through the people she had helped. Bola finally died after many years. She left behind a community that deeply mourned her death. However, she lived on in the hearts of the people of Igala, who continued to honor her memory. When Kola took over the restaurant, he was serious to keep the beliefs that Bola had taught him. People in Igala kept coming to the restaurant, not just for the food, but also for the sense of community. Kola's story became a part of Igala's rich culture. Until next time, God bless you.